Now the Penguin TV series is over, what's next for the Penguin, Batman, and all the other major players? Well, guys and girls, let's dive straight in. Spoiler warning for all things Batman and the Penguin.
Hey! Oh! I'm sorry, I'm trying to steal my shit! Please, please, please.
Let's get one of the easiest ones out the way first. The fate of poor Victor. At the end of the Penguin, Victor is shockingly murdered by his father figure Oswald Cobb, aka the Penguin. As we watch the life get choked out of him, in one of the most gut-wrenching scenes I've watched in a while. Before Victor's untimely death, there were some fun theories out there as to whether Victor could eventually become Robin or Victor Salazar, but following the death of the character and interviews by the actor Renzi Feliz, it looks like we could nip that in the bud, as it doesn't sound like he will be coming back. Could Victor be rewritten into a possible Penguin sequel or the Batman Part 2? Well, I guess anything is possible in a comic book universe, and Victor was insanely popular as a character, but I think it would spoil his story arc if he was to come back. Either way, the future is looking rosy for actor Renzi, with fans screaming for him to be Miles Morales in the next Spider-Man film, which I could definitely see happening.
Oswald Cobb, remember him? What a little bitch.
At the end of the Penguin, Oz has effectively beaten the Maroni and Falcone families, and has become the new kingpin of Gotham, sitting pretty in his new penthouse suite as he always promised his dear Mama Frances. The smaller gangs have joined the Penguin, and at this point there isn't really anything or anyone that can stop him, except of course for a certain bat. Cue bat signal at the end of the series to let Oz know what's up. We already know the Penguin leads into the Batman Part 2, and you can expect the Penguin to be a major antagonist for Batty Boy in the sequel. I imagine Bruce will also underestimate Oz like everyone else has so far, and find out the hard way that this Oz is different from the one that he met a few weeks back during the events of the first Batman movie. Things could get even harder for Batman if Oz turns to the political landscape of Gotham and tries to work his way up the ladder to being mayor. He's already made connections with councillors during the show, and expect this to continue either in a season 2 of The Penguin or during the events of the Batman Part 2. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Batman is still trying to beat Oz in the Batman Part 3, and I would have no complaints if it means we get more Colin Farrell.
Sofia, I thought you was still at,
Arkham? No. I've been rehabilitated.
Poor Sofia. Her story went full circle with her going from former Arkham inmate, courtesy of Oz and her father, back to Arkham at the end of the series, again thanks to Oz. At least she got to have her revenge tour in between her Arkham stays, and became a boss bitch taking over the family business, at least for a little while anyway. Sofia has one of the most tragic stories in the Reeves Verse, and unfortunately for her, she has now lost her empire, majority of her wealth, and soon her sanity for a second time. However, at the end of the Penguin, she receives a letter from Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. Selina explains to Sofia that she is her half-sister, and we're left with Sofia being given a sliver of hope for the future. At least she still has her psycho doctor boyfriend Dr. Julian Rush to keep her busy. I expect the sister dynamic will be explored further in the Batman Part 2, as Selina was already introduced to the Batman universe in the first Batman movie, and although she was last seen leaving Gotham at the end of that film, it's likely she's already back or planning to come back to help free her sister. Selina was only heading upstate, so it's plausible that she would have seen at least some of the events unfold in Gotham on the news. Interestingly, both Sofia and Selina have a shared experience of their dad murdering both their mums, and I expect Sofia to be released from Arkham sooner than later. Now for the man himself, Bruce Wayne. A lot has happened in the last month following the events of the Batman movie. Yes, the events of the Penguin happened over a very short period of time, even though it may not have felt that way, and whilst the Batman movie finished on the 6th of November in their universe, it isn't even holiday season yet by the time the Penguin wraps up. Jackson, where was Batman during the events of the Penguin? Well guys, that's a good question. If you didn't watch the Penguin, Batman doesn't show up at all, and it is a bit bizarre as you would think Batman would be interested in Sofia's activity on release from Arkham, as she wasn't exactly subtle. Upon her release, all the Falcone family die mysteriously overnight by a reported gas leak, The sewage system underneath Crown Point blows up, again courtesy of Sofia. Even the release of Salvatore Maroni surely would have raised an eyebrow if nothing more. I rewatched The Batman after finishing The Penguin, and before making this video. And my hot take is a boring one. The Batman didn't do anything during the events of The Penguin, because he was too busy recovering from his injuries and supporting Alfred in his own recovery. Batman literally took a shotgun bullet to his torso at the end of the film, and that was before he then became the hero once again and severed the loose electrical cable dangling above the water, frying himself with thousands of watts of electricity. Man, I don't even know how he's alive when you think about it. It seems the only reason he was still going at the end of the film was because of the adrenaline type substance he injected into himself, which some people thought back in 2022 that this could be Venom as a nod to Bane. So I think it would be perfectly reasonable and plausible for Batman to be on sick leave at least for a few weeks to recover before going again. Also, Alfred was still in hospital at the end of the Batman, and Bruce is probably helping him as well in his own recovery. No Alfred, no party, as they say, and having both of them back at full health is integral for the believability of the stories going forward. At the end of The Penguin, the bat signal is back, indicating that the man himself is on active duty again, and putting Penguin on notice. Based on the information we already know from Matt Reeves and co, I'm expecting Batman's primary foe to be Oz in The Batman Part 2. But I think we'll also get an introduction of Mr. Freeze, as Matt Reeves specifically wanted it to be winter and cold in Gotham for The Batman Part 2. It might seem too on the nose and obvious for a Mr. Freeze intro, but I definitely wouldn't be complaining. Another possibility could be that they are setting up for the people of Gotham to become even more desperate than they already are. The devastation by both the Riddler and Sofia's actions was bad enough, and now the poorest of the poor have to contend with a chilling winter as well. Don't be surprised to see Oz continue his rise as the people's champion, by getting heating back on for the people of Crown Point and beyond. Similar to what he did with the electricity, again bolstering his credentials as a future political player in Gotham, and who knows, maybe future mayor.
Any theories? Not yet. Really?
Finally, the Joker. The Joker had a brief cameo at the end of The Batman, as he was in the cell next to Riddler. Joker was played by the fantastic Barry Keoghan, who has shot to the stratosphere following Saltburn. And although I would love to see him in The Batman Part 2, I think they are going to save him for The Batman Part 3, or maybe a Joker TV series following the success of The Penguin. Batman will likely have his hands full with the Penguin, maybe a Sophia and Catwoman team up, and possibly Mr. Freeze, so I think it's perfectly okay to let Joker cook for a bit longer. Well, that's about everything for this video. Let me know in the comments below any predictions or theories you have yourselves for the upcoming Batman movie, or any possible spin-off series similar to The Penguin. Also stay tuned for my review of The Penguin coming soon. And if you're new here, then hey, my name is Jackson and welcome to the channel. I cover all things TV and film, and make both long form and short form content, such as reviews, reactions and film sleuthing for hidden references and details. My short term goal is to reach that elusive 1k sub club, but long term I want to build an active community where we can actually discuss the latest and greatest in TV and film together, whether that's live or in the comments. If this sounds appealing to you, then hit that subscribe button and come and say hi. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
It wasn't for nothing.